This next video is one of the more obvious forms of marketing, and that is networking events. Well, networking events are changing somewhat, right? We're doing them all online. You hardly go to a networking event today with a lot of people in it. It's just not a good idea. But quite frankly, the best practices for networking still apply, however. You're just going to be doing it in Zoom meetings, but the process is pretty much the same. You're going to these meetings online with a purpose in mind. You're at work. Remember that. You are trying to find prospects for your services or your products. You're going to meet people and go through a process to find out if they might be interested. So let's talk through this, but in the context of the way networking is kind of working today. Before you go, do the research necessary to find out what this event is all about. In fact, do some research to figure out what events are going on that might have people that could be potential customers. So do that research. And today you are probably getting a lot of contact, mainly through email, announcing all sorts of events that you might be interested in. I think the traffic for them has increased greatly. So take a look at them. But then go to meetup.com like you did before, looking up events that are being conducted online that you might be interested in. Do your Google searching on networking events Raleigh or networking events whatever city you're in and see if there are any going on that might be of interest to you. So search out events that you should attend and go ahead and sign up for them. But do the research about what goes on in these events. Look at their website to learn more about what their purpose is. Because you want to go into these meetings somewhat informed as to what goes on here, and you can portray then properly why you're there as you meet people in these meetings. In the old days, when you went into a big conference room or an assembly area of some kind, I used to say, well, now you're going to work the room. Well, the room now is virtual, but you're still going to work the room. You're going to take the time, particularly at the beginning of these meetings, where there's open networking and people are meeting each other and discussion is going on. In fact, some of these networking events break you up into rooms where you're going to have 5 or 6 people. What a great opportunity to get introduced to 5, 6 people in a breakout room. And guess what? They put you in another one within 5 to 8 minutes. You're still going to work the room, and all of the techniques for working the room still apply. You're going to approach people and do what? You're going to form some form of introduction. You're going to say something like, hey, I'm Bill Warner, great to meet you. And chances are in the Zoom session, their name is right at the bottom of their picture. And you can say, hi, Sue, I'm Bill Warner, how are you? Nice to meet you. Did you enjoy the event? Or what brings you to this event? What interest do you have? Say something to start a conversation. Now, often they have subjects that the organizer wants you all to talk about. But you could still say, Sue, I don't think I've ever met you. What do you do? So you make an attempt to get to know them. But in this entirely new situation where you're probably not going to have a lot of time to carry on a conversation because the organizer probably gave you something to do. But if it's an open networking kind of thing and there's 25 people on the screen here, you single them out one by one. The use of chat to contact people is now available to you. You can do it kind of secretly on the side in the chat and ask them a question. Hey, I don't think we've met, Jim. Love to have the opportunity to maybe talk to you a little bit at the break or talk to you a little bit at the end of the meeting. And you could also cheat a little bit. I'm not sure this is cheating, but while you're online in this meeting and you see the name of a person you don't know, you just go to another screen and they don't know you're doing this, and that you look them up on LinkedIn, see who the heck they are. If they appear to be a person that you want to know more about, then you can do the introduction in chat or at some opportune time during the meeting. In virtual meetings, this is what Work the Room kind of is about. You make the introduction. But if you have a chance to do so, you may have the opportunity to ask them questions like you would in an open meeting the way it used to be. What brings you here? What do you do? What line of business are you in? What did you think of the speaker? So you inquire. You get them talking about themselves and about their interests. And when you make one of these inquiries, what do? You shut up and listen. You're listening for something about them, something about their business that might say that you might be able to help them. So be prepared with inquiry kinds of questions that you could ask people. You prepare them before you go, but the process is still inquire after you've made a proper introduction of yourself. And then you listen for what it is they do and an opportunity for you to do some form of follow-up. So after listening, you may or may not have a chance to ask them for contact information. Sometimes the organizer says, hey, you all be sure to put your contact information over in the chat so everybody else can see it. Well, by God, you're gonna see it. You're gonna copy it, paste it over in a document. Sometimes they'll send you the whole list of the chat if you ask them to, or they may offer you to, or maybe part of the way the meetings run that all of this chat information gets emailed to everybody. But don't count on that. Copy it, paste it, keep it. But again, in chat yourself, you could say, hey, Jim, I'd sure like to talk to you more. Please give me your contact information. I'll send you an email. We can set up a time you and I can talk. So use this chat on the side to make contact and tell people that you're interested in meeting them. That's a technique you would have used if you saw them live. So getting their contact information is still a thing you have to do. Make an overt attempt to get it. So the follow-up from this within hours of the meeting, if you could do it the same day or the next morning, is to check these people out further, having now their contact information, and decided where do you want to take the next step, to send them an email, send them a message inside Facebook or LinkedIn, showing your interest in meeting with them further, and you're willing to set up another Zoom call where we can get to know each other better. So the follow-up is still something you do. You follow up very quickly. Don't wait days for this. Do this almost immediately. And set up a follow-up meeting. And in the follow-up is where you're now going to go through your qualification of them as a potential customer for your products and services. And you know what to do next after that. We've talked about it in previous videos. Now, this is networking events. I might have done this one actually first in this video series. I waited to the end here by accident, quite frankly. But networking and networking events and the process you go through to meet new people is still the same. The techniques are just substantially different. Get to know how to do it and gain some prospects in these events that you'll be attending online. And as you do that, have a good time and have a good day as well.